I've got some exciting news, and that is the new version of the external consist editor that is on the way. The developer, Kyler, has been working on it over the past few months, and this is going to be version 10.1. It's currently in a beta, and I'm going to read here what he says on the Depot forum. He says, I've been working on completely revamping external consist editor from the ground up. ECE 10 will come with a complete visual redesign, drastically improved stability, and new functionalities to make Run 8 train building even easier, all while keeping the user experience familiar. Although ECE 10 is close, it's not quite done, and as I'm going to try to take my time to make sure it's right before releasing. So he's shown a sneak peek, some screenshots on the Depot forum under the third-party support thread, and he's been kind enough to let me have access to the beta. So we're going to take a look here and check out some of the new features. So the first thing he points out is that the stored units has been renamed to stored consist and now has the ability to load a train file instead of just the external consist editor generated stored units files. Rail vehicles pulled from the stored consist will be copied to the train consist instead of moved. So here is the current external consist editor version 5.3 that we're all using. And we've got these two stored units tabs that you can load up, and it's going to pull one of these XML files of stored units. But what he's saying is now it's been renamed to stored consist. So as you can see here, you've got a tab here for stored consist, and I can go load, and now it opens. It doesn't save it to a separate folder that was in a different location. It now opens up your trains, saved trains folder, which is really nice. And I can select here the LS917J that I did in the last series. And here it is. So here's all the cars listed for that train that we did, that huge local job. And then I can either close it or load a different one. Now he's also saying that if you pull rail vehicles from this, they won't disappear over here on the left. So like if I wanted to make a new train out of this and I wanted to grab some of these reefer units, I can hold shift, select all these, drag them over here, but see, they stay here. It doesn't, in the old version or the current version everyone's using, these would be gone. So as you pulled from the stored units in the current version, these would disappear, but now they stay there. So that's really nice too, because you can pull up old train saves, drag in some cars that you liked, but just the ones you wanted, and not worry about potentially messing up your these files. And actually, so I'm looking at it here, and it looks like there's not even a save here. So you couldn't even accidentally erase or mess up a saved train file that you have in your trains folder. All you can do is just load or close. So if I hit close, it just closes it, and I can go here and I can load it back up, and there it is. And when we drag these over, they didn't pull out. So you can't accidentally mess up your train files. So that's really cool. If I wanted, and again, because there's no more stored units, that's gone, I could create a new train here, save it, and then when I go to load, it would just be in this list. And I could go like here, LS906J, that if I just save that one, this pops up just letting me know that it's going to get rid of this one. So if I hit yes, so now here's LS906J. And then I can grab any cars out of here that I wanted and drag them over here to add them in. So that's nice. I like that. So I'll close that, and let's just clear this for now. The next thing he says is when adding rail vehicles to the train consist, you will no longer get weird bugs where the items are improperly duplicated. It'll simply work exactly as you would expect. I don't know if I ever had an issue when adding and getting duplicated items. Maybe other people did, but I don't think I had that problem. The next thing is all rail vehicles have been completely resurveyed, as well as the train consist calculations have been rethought to be much more accurate. You'll notice the totals ECE and Run8 produces will be nearly identical. So that's just, I think it's just more efficient and more accurate, as he said it. When you create a train here and you'll get your totals up here at the top, it's just going to be more in line with what Run8 says and just even more accurate. So that's great. And then let's see, new mechanic for bulk adding the same car model to the train consist. So if I go to add rail vehicles, select unit type, let's just put a -9 in here at the front. And then let's go with covered hoppers. And if I wanted them all to be this BNSF, okay, so I hold down left shift and then scroll with the mouse wheel. Oh, look at that. See the number pop up? So now let's say I wanted to do a unit train with this one hopper. I can just keep scrolling till I get to the number I want and then let go. And then now, let's see, do I click here or I got to drag it over? And there we go. Now we got 65. It just brought in all in one shot. Before you would have to either like keep dragging one at a time for if you wanted just that same car, or you'd have to, the best thing would be to highlight it and then just hold down the right arrow and then do that. But that's really cool. So yeah, you could, but you can't do it with like with all these and then hold, and what doesn't work. It'll only work with one specific car. So if I wanted all CSX01, hold down left shift, start scrolling, and then I could put in 17 and now drag the 17. So that's really neat. All consist modifier options will affect only the selected rail vehicles in the train consist, or all of them if none are selected. So that's pretty cool. So if let me open up a train file here. Let's just go to this one. So right now, this is one of the other LS 906J local job files that I used for one of the series. And let's just say I wanted to modify, let's see, so consist modifiers here. I click that, and now see how it changes down here. So let's say I wanted to do random shuffle. So I hit that, and now everything has been shuffled around and changed, mixed in, because I hadn't had any selected. Whoops. Now I'm just going to, I'm going to clear this out of here. Now, if I open the same file again, so now we're all back in order. Now, if I just shift click to highlight, so like I go here and I'm going to do just these are now highlighted. Then you can see they're in order. I can go to consist modifiers. See how they're all forwards? I'll go random reverse. And you can see now it only affected the ones that were selected. It didn't random reverse the whole thing. Whereas in the previous version, the current version, I could do up here, I could do, let's see, which one was it? Random reverse, but it's only going to do the whole thing. Like if I select these, let's see, random reverse. Yeah, it changed all of them to random forward or reverse, even though I had these selected. So that's a cool new feature, is you can fine tune, and it's only going to apply this loaded or empty. Like if I go load all these, boom, these are all loaded now, but only the ones I selected. So that's really nice. And let's see here. A lot more back-end things have been done to further improve the experience. And then what other notes? User-specific settings that save each time they're changed. So over here, where did I see? Oh, here, settings. So if I click settings, I got all these options, and he's saying that if I change it, it automatically saves it. So the next time I open the program, it's just going to remember what I had selected here. And this is really neat because you can change. So this over here, see the type? And I had already changed it. See how it says like gondola, boxcar? In the current version, you get this is all you would get is E641, unless you hover over like I'm doing here. Then you get the picture with a little more with the name. But like if I'm looking at this and I see A606, I'm like, what is that again? Oh, boxcar. Okay, yeah, that's right. And then you kind of remember, but you don't know. But in the new version, you can go to your settings and you can have the car code, which is what the current version gives you, what we were just looking at. But to me, that I don't need that. That doesn't really help me. So I put it to common name, and that's awesome. Now I know these are center beams. It makes it way easier when you're looking at this train, and you can quickly glance, or you could do the file name. That could help too, because I actually made a PDF with all the photos of the cars, so I can like real quickly just glance at it and see all the pictures of what they look like, and then I can match it to this real easily. So that's awesome. That's a great feature. I really like that. Then we have do not calculate any locos for tons. Oh, so your total up here, calculations. You can change that. Calculate only isolated locomotives for tons, or calculate all locomotives for weight for tons. So you can just fine tune your total numbers at the top. And then more stuff here, like show full file path. So that's selected. So if I go to here, see how I got the full path right here of where that train is saved. But if I unclick that, then I just get the LS906J, which I think I'd actually prefer just that. So I'll probably leave it like that. I don't need the full path. Remember last you used region. That's nice because so here, see how it says SoCal and you can change them with this drop down. So I like that. I'll leave that checked. Auto select region on file open. Have ECE automatically set the region based on the loaded file path. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Yeah, so when you open a file, I guess if I hit file open, because it's already going to Southern California, I think because, let's see, if I change this to, I don't know if that'll change it. Let's go NorCal and then hit open. See, it's still Southern California. I don't think it can change that routing, or maybe it can. I don't know. Normally, I would have to go in here and go regions and then like go to Northern California. But let's hit cancel, open again. Yeah, it's still Southern California. Unless it's talking about, let's see, let's put SoCal. Let's go to open. Let's open a Northern California train. So it just switched. Oh, maybe that's what it's talking about. See how it switched this now to NorCal? Right here. And then if I go to open again, yeah, I'm still in Northern California. So maybe that's what it's talking about. It just switches this. Auto select region on file open. Yeah, that's got to be what it is. And then load most recent train file on startup. Oh, okay. I wonder if that's automatically loads the most recent loaded or saved train file when ECE is opened. So let's see if I do, let's just leave it like this and close it and then reopen it. And there you go. So that's really cool. It just opened up the last one that I was using. I don't know if I would want that, but that's a nice feature to have that you can check. You know, if I don't want it, I can just uncheck this. Show train consist effects. Shows effects when adding, removing, or editing values. Oh, so that's just the visual. So if I uncheck it, I think like if I did this and I went to consist modifiers and put them all as empty, yeah, it just doesn't give you like that color thing. These all move, but if I put it back on and then come back in here and make these all loaded, see how you get that little graphic like showing that you just changed them all. So I'll leave that on. That's kind of fun. And then what else was in here? Show rear 33% weight line and show rear 25% length line. So this one here displays a blue line where the rear 1/3 train weight is in the consist, and a purple line where the rear 1/4 train length is in the train consist, the rear quarter. So if I scroll down, here's the lines here. So what was it again? The blue. Oh, what was the color? Blue line is the rear 1/3 of weight, and the purple is the length. So this is like the rear quarter of the train, and this is the rear weight. 33% of the weight is back here, I think is how it's going. This is over my head here. This is not something that I probably would use because I'm not smart enough or knowledgeable enough to even know how to deal with that. But it's cool that it has it. I'm sure the experts and the depot forum use that for maybe when building trains. And that's it under settings. And then let's see. There's also he mentions here, there's a smart search. So you can search by file name, car code, common car name, add-on pack, or other details. So he gives the example over here. So if you're searching for a car, like if I wanted to add rail vehicles, I can go in here to the search box now. And in his example, he types single. So you type that, and now these are all going to be single stack intermodal cars. So that's really cool. Or if I wanted like box cars, I could type box, and here's all the box cars. Or if I wanted like these plate F ones, I could probably just type plate, and here's all the plate Fs just pop up. So in the current version, you can't do that. You don't get any option for a search like that. So that's an awesome new feature as well. So let's just snoop around a little bit and see what else I can find. So we looked at the stored consist. I really like that, where you can just load in a train. So now we're back in north. I think this you probably have to just manually switch. But I like how you can go back in here and just grab a train, grab cars, and it doesn't mess this up at all. The train file. So let's clear this out and try adding like some locomotives. Let's just put a couple in here. And let's go with some box cars, 60-foot high cube, drag those in. And this is really neat too. So I noticed the weight sliders. Before you just get this, but doesn't actually give you the weight. Here it does in this pop-up. If you look, it says 103 load weight, or this one says 91. But you'd have to hover over and wait for the. So like here's I think that must be total tons, and then you'd have to hover over. But in the new one, you get the. So here's the weight of the car, 40 tons, and then I can increase this. So now the total is 121, and the weight of the load here is 81. It says it right on the slider. I could bring it up to 102 max for this box car. Yeah, so that's the max, 102. So that's pretty neat how it shows it right on there. And then it gives you the tons of just the empty, just the actual box car itself empty over there. One of the things that I'm really excited about is let's get these box cars out of here. And look at that, I hit delete, and then you get that animation, then they're gone. Let's get some tank cars. I'm just going to type in tank, and let's grab some 105s. And this is such a nice feature because it's all in, if you played in Run 8 and you want to change a placard, you just have to cycle through all of them to find the one you want for each car. And in the current version here, you have to click this and then like click one and hover over it, see if that's the one you want. Like I think if you hover, it takes there's a little delay, and then you can, find the one you want, but you got to go one at a time to figure it out. Not anymore. In this one, watch this. I want to change the placard let's just do it for all of them. So I'll hold shift, highlight all of them. Look at this. You get all the placards with all the details here, the corrosive substances, all the text, the class, everything you need to know, and the picture. So I got foam here. I could just quickly click that, bam, and it says foam in there too. And they're red, so you know that they got a placard now. Whereas like if I grab some more, they just stay white. So you know which ones have a placard. So this is how it should have been in run 8 and everything. Like this is awesome. This is perfect. Makes it real easy to set this up. Let's see here. So this is up here, load empty, random load empty. These are the same. I don't think anything's really changed there. The consist mod. Oh, that's what we were doing just now. Okay, so if I click this, it just hides that. Click it again. Oh, undo, redo. I don't think we had that. Yeah, that's new too. I don't think in here there in the current version there's a way to undo or redo. So that's really nice. Like if you made a mistake, maybe let's see, let's try undo. Yeah, try it again. Look at that. That's awesome. Because you could easily like hit the wrong key and all of a sudden you're like, oh man, and then it could take a while to fix everything. So that's huge. I don't know if he mentioned that in the sneak peek thread. So I like that. Description. So if you click that, you get this drop down, and then you can type whatever you want, and then when you save it, it's going to show up in run 8 in the info box. Obviously, we've got all the info up here, which he said is going to be much more detailed. Not detailed, much more accurate. And let's see. We went through all the settings here, all this cool new stuff. And I think this is probably the same, although select add-on pack. Was that there? Oh, that's new. So when you're building the train, let me clear this out just so it's not so cluttered. So if I were to go to add rail vehicles, all I could do is either select the unit type or the industry configuration type. So in the new version, 10, let me, here, I could go to, so here's this is what's currently there, industry configuration type. If you're looking for wood chips, here's your wood chips. But if I put this back to the default here, and I click on select add-on pack, now this is by the packs that you can buy. So this is great for new players too. People who haven't bought all the packs. This is awesome because this is always a source of confusion for new players. They're wondering like, what pack do I have to buy to get what car? And you have to look through the Depot forum has it actually on there. So that's nice. Or you have to look through the Run 8 website. But this is really nice. Like right when you're building trains, you can just go mixed freight 5 and here's the ones that come with it. And then obviously you will be able to see a picture of what they look like too. And then you might say, oh yeah, I want to buy that. And then you can buy it. So that's really cool that is in there. Let's see, what else do we got? We got triangles now for the direction. So if I do consist modifier random reverse, you can see now we got up and down for forward or backwards. So we got here loaded or empty. So the E or the L for loaded or empty. And then we've got, do these numbers change? Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, see all these numbers are changing? The length doesn't change. But look, and then look at that. All these numbers. So yeah, I think that's something with a new calculation. So as I even slide the weight of this one car, oh, I think that's what it is. It's adding the tons of everything before it, I think, and up to and including this car. And that's why everything after down here is changing. Look at that, but not the ones before. So like if I go way to the bottom, there you go. So there's your total train tons is 8,331 tons, and there's your 8,331 on the last car. So like if I go here, see how it changes the total train weight and it changes that. So that's neat. That's a cool feature. And I don't think the length obviously is going to change because you can't change the length of the cars. But that's neat where you can see the length. Oh, that's awesome. Because sometimes I'm building a train and I want it to be under 3,700 feet long. So I can see right here, like, all right, this is the point. I need to get rid of some extra cars. And I can either just delete the rest of the train, let's say, to cut it here, or I can get rid of some of these and some of these, but I can see where that marker is. So that's really cool. And then we've got axles. So here's axle. So this is the first car. So 4 of 4. This one is 4, and then the total is 8. So these, like, yeah, every car here is going to be 4 axle, but you can see the final car is 4 of 460 total. So that is really cool too for when you hit a defect detector. You can have this up, and because you usually get a warning, it'll say, you know, defected axle 376. And I could just pull this up and I could see that that's car 94. It's a Union Pacific reefer. I'll be able to see the picture eventually here. It's a KIL tag, and you would be able to just find it even easier when you're walking the train. So that's really cool. And I think that's it here. So we had loaded or empty, tons, and then the weight sliders here. So, and then you obviously got your stuff at the top. So like if I go here and add a ES44DC at the top, let's add another one. I think if I right click, it should reverse it. Yep. And that, so you got your locos 2x0. I think this is all the same. 42 loads, 73 empties, 8,394 tons. You got your length, horsepower per ton. Oh, but let's try this. Do not calculate any locos for tons. So if I click that, okay, so calculate all locos weight for tons. Now it adds them into the total train weight, 8810. If I click this one, it takes the locomotives out of this total tons weight at the top. And then if I go calculate only isolated locomotives for tons, then if I were to isolate, which I don't, was it control click? All right, so it should be, it says hold Alt and double click. So let's see, if I hold Alt, there we go. So see how the arrow turned red? So that lets me know that that second one is isolated. And now our weight, because our settings, we have it calculate only isolated locomotives. So now it adds to the weight. So if I hold Alt and double click, this says 8602 tons up here, drops to 8394 because now this one's no longer isolated. So that's really neat. I don't think you could do that in this one, in the current version here. I think it would just count all of them. And I think we've got it. I think that's about it for all of the new features and the new look. You can see, obviously, there's a whole new look to it. So very exciting. It's still in the beta, so he's still doing work on it. But just wanted to give you guys something to look forward to, and it's going to be, it's already fantastic, and it's just going to be even better. So stay tuned, and I think once the, well, for sure, once the actual, you know, version gets released for everybody, I'll check it out again and do another video. But yeah, that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching, and if you got any questions, let me know in the comments, and stay tuned for the next video.